You're listening to the Huff and Gill Show with your host, Tyler Huff and Earl Gill on 107.9 The Fan.
Good morning, and welcome to this glorious Tuesday morning of the Power Hour. We have a special guest with us. We have we call this South Lake Drive Day, and we got one of the biggest and the largest, as Big Yavo say, and I'm glad to have him here. My man, Coach Coach Zach Fowler, man, the big dog.
I don't know about special guests, but I'm glad to be here. Y'all make me feel special.
We're glad to have you.
You are special, man. You are special.
But before we start, I do personally want to, the Power Hour, we'd like to send our condolences to Mr. Harris's family.
Absolutely.
We recently lost a foundation piece on the island, and he was a great man. He worked over there with Zach. I saw him a lot. He was the first person to greet me when I took the job last year. So that one hit hard, and we're praying for his family.
Absolutely. Send our condolences to his family and everybody that from the district that that has a heart for Mr. Harris as well, because he's been there for a long while since I was in school, pretty much as well. So
great man.
Yeah, he made about every L screen we got at that baseball field. Him and Moulton, they always weld them together for us, put some nets on them. So yeah, they did a lot of work for us, and just always nice as can be about it.
Absolutely.
We'll miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but we got the man in the building, man. We got the dog, the big man, the boss man, the skip manager. They got a lot of names. They got the winner. We got a lot of names for him. You know what I'm saying? We got Coach Zach Fowler
State
here.
champion.
Yes, that too. We got a professional, a pro. He's a big time.
We should have wrote out one of those long introductions.
Yeah, unfortunately,
like
he
called him to the stage.
Unfortunately, he went to Texas Tech. He could have went to Arkansas, but he still.
No, Arkansas never offered me any money.
They didn't.
No, Butler came and watched me pitch when I was at TC.
Okay.
And, they never came up with any big offer or anything. They were trying to get a free player. So, how Arkansas does it.
Yeah.
They slide you in there as a walk-on, and that's about it.
Cheap state, coach.
Yeah,
Cheap state.
they're trying to keep it.
Another great thing I like
All-Americans
about you, Coach Fowler, is this is where you made my heart melt. A year or two ago, it was just me and you walking and passing, and you said, "Hey, Earl, that 7-on-7 stuff actually works, man. So-and-so hands have gotten better." So for you to have said that was I was like, wow, Zach understands what's going on out here.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people the story, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of people, it's not me, it's that person putting in the work. And obviously that person put in the work to get their hands better, but you recognize that. And I'm like, man, Zach, all right with me.
Well, the my path and coach has been like that a little bit. Like my first couple of years, I did. We were like, hey, we're gonna be strong. We're gonna lift all these weights. We're gonna do all this during the period. And man, we didn't win. So like, I had to change, and I realized like developing those skills as a baseball player was more important at that time than the weight room was for those kids.
Yeah.
Now we still combine the weight room in there, but the main thing, getting better at football is going to be done by playing football, I think. So 7-on-7 is as close as you can get in the off season.
Yes.
So I think there's a lot of value to it. There's a lot of value to anything you do. It's just, where you spend your time, where, you got $1 bill to spend, like how much you going to spend on it. So
absolutely.
I think you need to spend it on football, baseball,
absolutely.
Stuff like that, your skill.
Yeah. Man, we got to shout out your dad too, man. Shout out to OG Fowler. He put Tyler in a headlock last year, and I loved it, man.
Really?
I love your dad, man. I love your dad.
He was your principal, wasn't he, Tyler?
Yeah, he was my principal.
Yeah, he was my coach.
Yeah.
How was that? Play 4 times.
He was?
No, he was a good coach.
OG Fowler knows what he's talking about.
He does, and being his son, I was kind of on the brunt end of some
How was that? How was that?
Well, he could always come, he'd come down hard on me, and then I could handle it, so he did.
Did you ever run into, like, because obviously I've heard stories about how good you were. Did you ever run into you're good, but you're also the coach's son sort of situation?
When I was younger, but by the time I had been, once you win enough, people stop saying it, and you get drafted.
Your talent starts showing itself.
Coach or nothing. Yeah, it's just at some point your talents will show up, and you hear it a little bit when you're younger, and there's advantages to it. Like, I was always around the game. Like my son's always at the baseball field. He's always swinging and throwing, and I was the same way when I was little. So it did give me an advantage. So I can't say it wasn't an advantage having a coach for a dad.
Do you – okay. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. do you want to coach high school baseball for the rest of your career? Because I'm saying this. I personally see you,
As a skipper.
for the Red Raiders.
Well,
You
I
know.
really don't like college baseball that much.
Why
not? My experience with it. So, when you're in high school, it's so pure. Like all these kids just want to
play.
Win.
Yeah.
Like, winning's enough. When you get to college, it turns into, are you productive enough? Who can recruit the best? It's not about development as much as who's got the best players. In high school, coaching still matters. So it's like, hey, I can take a kid in 9th grade and I got 4 years with him. Like I can develop that kid. Like wherever he's at right now, I can make him better. When you get to college, man, you're gonna have transfers, but it's changed so much.
Travel ball.
It's not amateur baseball. It's almost professional baseball at college level. So I have no desire to do it. And another thing is, when I first got out of professional baseball, people kind of ask you the GA and stuff like that. But you're not gonna make any money.
Yeah.
I just rode a bus for 4 years in the minor leagues, not making money. So it wasn't something I was gonna jump into and not make money. I wanted to come back here and start a coaching career, and I plan on staying.
What is it? I got a couple of questions. I'm gonna let Tyler take over. Tyler hates when I do this.
Not really.
What does it mean to put into you? Because you're fiery, and I love that about you. You know what I'm saying?
This program's it's different for me too because I watched it from when I was born into it. Like Dad was already the head coach here, 84, I think. I was born in 89.
Yeah.
So I lived and died.
Shout out to them 80s babies.
Yeah. Yeah, 80s.
I'm 87.
I lived and died every Tuesday and Friday night when they won. I was their biggest fan, and it hurt when they lost, and I still feel that way as the coach now. So it's just fun to be back here. It's amazing that it happened this way. Just the chances of me being the head coach here, kind of following him up, very small, I feel like. But it's just been fun. It's worked out, and we've had success with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So me and Tyler got into a heated debate about a couple months ago. I took a job I moved back to Texarkana.
This wasn't months ago. This was 7 years ago.
No, I'm talking about when we argued about what I'm about to bring up.
I know what you're talking about. That was like a year ago.
No,
I got the episode.
Whatever. Anyways, I moved back to Texarkana about 6 or 7 years ago. You're one of the first people I met. I was a reporter, right?
Yeah, you were the beat guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Covered us.
Exactly. So I saw y'all. Okay, as much as I hated it, you had me driving to Tatum. I messed up
everywhere.
I messed up a pair of Retro 3s, chlorophylls at White House in the rain. You remember that?
That was the 21 year, the regional final.
I didn't have any clothes. We stayed in the hotel in Longview. It was crazy. But I was there, and I saw it all. And I didn't like it. I stayed in Kilgore overnight. You remember that? The doubleheader in Kilgore? Oh, my gosh.
I didn't think we were going to make it out of there alive.
My grandmother was at home by herself. My mom was in California. I was like, hey, Mom, LE's going to lose. It's going to be quick. Season's over. I can come back to Big Mama. We're good. Man, we didn't leave Kilgore till 11 o'clock that night.
I think it was past midnight.
It was. My grandmother was upset. She was late night. Boy, my grandmother was hot.
And people were mad at Kilgore too.
Yes. So you remember these things. I was there. I don't have these Retro 3s no more. It was a lot going on that year, but I'm glad you did what you did. But so I know LE as a baseball powerhouse. I know you. I watched you. Will Middlebrooks. There's been other people. Nick Robinson was a really good baseball player.
Yes, he was.
So we get on here one day, and I said, LE's a baseball school. I can count on Zach Fowler having some playoff tickets for me. You know what I'm saying?
This was that year he's talking about. The first year y'all made that run.
And he, oh, man, we're a football school. I'm like, man, I ain't hearing nothing you talking about. In the past 5 years,
I said this year we are a baseball school at that point in time.
I ain't trying to clean it up, right?
I got that. I said coach the Clips. But at the point in time, overall, we're not a baseball school.
No.
Not at that point in time. Maybe now.
That's not what I'm getting. That's not what I'm getting at.
What LE is we've been good at both.
Right. Yes. But what I'm getting at is you weren't as good when you got there, right?
Yeah, we were down a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay to admit.
Because look, when I was in high school, and Cody Engstrom can agree to this. He graduated here before me. Those guys weren't doing too much on that baseball field. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well,
maybe 2 or 3, 4 games.
And I didn't know that. So how, it takes 5 years to change a culture. It takes 5 years to change a program. And I didn't know that you changed it like this. So what did it take for you to change it?
It took me to change. I mean, a lot of it. You come in with a certain idea. Like I've seen all these great coaches run practices. I've seen, all this other stuff. So you try to take all of it, throw it in there, and man, you find yourself through it all, and you find out what makes kids click. So like we found a different way to do it. Probably about year 4, and then COVID hit. So we were actually pretty good that year. That third year we made the playoffs, kind of just grinded our way in.
Yeah,
and lost to Kilgore in that first round, and then. That year 4, we had COVID, but we were like 10-5 at the time. So it was like we were off to a good start. And then the next year is when we kind of kicked the door down and really we went to watch Flower Mound Marcus practice. So like every year I'll call somebody and be like, hey, man, you got a good program. I want to come see what you do.
Yeah.
So we just go watch them, like just for a day. That dude ran the most efficient, like situational game I've ever seen as a coach.
Yeah.
And we adopted it and kind of made it our own. And that took us kind of to the regional finals that year. And, we've moved from that and we start adding pieces to it. And kind of our practice is our training is what we think separates us from kind of other people.
A lot of other people.
Which I won't get into details.
Nah, we ain't giving up no free game over here. We ain't giving up no free game.
It's kind of been our equalizer, I think. And then, our kids just work really hard. Like good parents, good kids, like, you put that together and you get a culture where everybody wants to work. Like now you got something special.
But I think, like me, I was speaking out of context because I didn't know that LE was bad before you got there.
I would say bad, but there was a few years where maybe they win as many games as they win it now.
Yeah, but you have made it to where kids want to play baseball. Kids are like, hey man, I'm ready to play baseball. I want to play for Zach Fowler. And I think that's a testament of, I want to say what Rick put in you. You think that's what it is or what you developed over time?
A lot of it is him.
Yeah.
I mean, I coach a lot like he did probably, with some differences. I'm a different person. But no, there's a bunch of just every coach I've had has influenced me in some way.
For sure.
And worked with. Like, you learn from anybody, whatever sport. So, I talk to basketball coaches. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
So like you learn from everybody, and I'm a learning guy. Like I believe in a growth mindset where you're not set where you are, and you can always improve. So like that's what we try to instill in our kids. And
professional development.
How much time do we got before the next commercial? I got
2 minutes.
All right, good. Hey, I got a question, man. How do you stay so even keeled? I get more mad than you do.
I'm not that even keeled.
You are though. Okay, let me tell you what I'm talking
Come
about.
to practice one day.
Well, we're not gonna talk about practice. I don't know nothing about it. And we turn them cameras off, so don't be asking that. So none of that. So I've seen kids get picked off or thrown out, and you're not mad. It's more of let me teach you when you walk off. Cause me, I got mad. I threw my hat down one day. I walked off one time, and but you're even keeled and you teach, and I think that's a big part of you too. So like, can you talk about that?
Yeah. So like, I want them to be aggressive. So like, the minute they get picked off and you start screaming at them, like they're just like, thank you. Next time they get out there, don't get picked off. Don't get picked off. And then so like, if you take that edge away from them, like you're not gonna get that extra base when you need it. So you can't just, to me as a young player, like I learned. Like, I learned by experience. Like, so they're going to experience that. I had a freshman get picked off like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And say word to him because I called a steal. So, like, my deal is.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
If I call a steal and you get picked off, that's kind of on me.
Yes.
If you get picked off and nothing's on, like, that's you. Like, you got to fix that. But, if I call a steal and they pick at the right time, they may get you. But, like, that's part of it. And, so I'm not getting mad at a kid for like, he's trying to make it to second. Like, so like if he was worried about getting back to first, got picked off, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
Right. But kid being aggressive, like learning on the fly, man, that's part of it. And it's not like it's a playoff game. Like we're learning to get better for that. That's a week away. So if we're prepared for that, I feel like I did my job. But right now, that's what we're getting ready for.
Someone wanted me to address this in the chat.
Say their name because I'm coming after folks, man. I got time today.
We all know him. T. Randall Taylor. T. Randall, we're going to break after I say
oh,
this.
gee, I'm going to get on you
T.
now.
Randall said in the chat, Earl didn't even stay for an entire game, coach.
Because something happened. Because we're not going to talk about why. I got upset. Like, I just told him I got upset and walked off.
What do you mean? Know. I just had to let it be known.
Dude hit a home run and then somebody yelling in my ear and I got mad. What are you talking about? Yeah, I got real mad.
Anyways, we're going to break. We'll be right back here on the Power Hour on 107.9 The Fan.
professionals, no skeezers on the beat, so I know it's slapping.
It's really just waiting your turn, like waiting your time, being patient and grinding and not expecting nothing from it. You know, just having your head down, just keep grinding every single day and not expecting nothing from it. Because, you know, like at some point God gonna come to circle back around and get you, but you just gotta have your head down the whole time. It might take 5 years, it might take 2, it might take 2 days. You never know.
This ain't no ESPN.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Huff and Gill with special guest Mr. Zach Fowler, Coach Zach Fowler. And shout out to our studio sponsors. None of us drink Budweiser.
Nope.
We drink Gatorade. We're not playing. It's testing time on the island, and ain't nobody drinking nothing. And
We got work to do.
exactly.
We got work to do.
And
Coach
shout
got
out
game
to
to
Liberty
win.
Island High School.
We ain't got time.
Oh, no, ain't nobody drinking nothing this week. The next 3 weeks, we're not playing no games. Feds watching. Okay, so once again, we had Coach Fowler in, man. Coach Fowler, who do y'all play tonight? I'm sorry, I don't
Paris. It's senior night tonight.
know. Senior night
This group of
tonight?
seniors has been a part of 3 straight. You know, COVID was their freshman year.
Okay.
And I'm proud of this group because they've
Yeah.
been a part of 3 straight 20-plus win seasons.
Wow.
With 2 deep
Wait a
playoff
minute. How is it not senior night, Friday night? We
Well,
play
hold
home?
on. I didn't want all that on the same day. That's
Oh,
playing them
okay.
is always a mess. It's
Okay.
like a circus every
You're
time.
a smart man.
So we moved it to Tuesday.
You
Just
like
so
how-
the
yeah.
game is the most important thing on Friday.
You like how the radio guys sit on their side? That's funny, isn't it?
Tell
they're with us though.
I
They
know,
are,
I
but
know,
tell 'em
I
what,
know, I know, but it's
They've
poking a
always
little.
sat there.
Tell them what Buddy said.
Y'all could be a little bit more humble next time. All this LE stuff. I
Right.
said, nah, they can sit right here, whatever LE they want on.
Came in
I know
with
y'all
our
are
early
friends. He talks about how great you are. But I mean, you know, we gonna whatever we need to do to make you TABC.
The coach
of the
that
year,
you're
we're gonna
playing
do that.
Friday is who we're referring
Yeah.
to. He told the
Oh.
radio guys that came
Be
in
a
with the
little bit
LE
more
gear.
humble.
Y'all
Because,
can
you know,
humble
the hat,
yourselves.
the polo shirts I got them. You know, they gotta look good now.
Chuck and Tony do look good.
Hey.
They look good in that maroon.
Yes,
and
sir.
everything.
That running
Color
LE logo,
red,
they look
running
good.
LE stuff. They look great.
So
sound
They wore
good,
black
too.
and gold way too long.
too
Yeah, it's true.
long.
Way too long.
That's true.
Got
So
them in the right colors now.
what does the running LE logo mean to you?
Well, okay, so back in that came out. Pat Brady kind of brought that up.
I know. I heard he
about
designed it.
06.
He made it,
So
yeah.
like it was kind of new to me. I always remember the paw and they had it blocked up for when
That's
I was
why I
little.
made one
in the
to bring
90s,
some
yeah, it was like
nostalgia
blocked
back.
up, the
State
paw.
championship.
But no, that community means a lot to me. Period.
Yeah.
So it's not whatever it is, whether we call it the ILO, the whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. It's a lot. It means it's made me the person I am today. So
Absolutely.
I'll always be grateful, no matter what, no matter what happens. Like it's definitely made me the person I am.
Absolutely.
So I guess let's really talk about this season. We ain't really talked about this season so far to this point. What you guys, I think 20.
Man, I don't know our record. I know we're over 20 now.
I can find it.
We've got 4 losses. I know that. 'Cause
I can
I
find
remember those more than I remember the wins.
Do you think those are
Unfortunately.
losses that you could have possibly won?
There's one game that we should have won. The Naaman Forest School, the 6A school.
Yeah.
We were up 41 in that one. And just
Oh, y'all played Naaman Forest?
yeah, they had a kid that is going to Texas State, and probably shouldn't have.
In
pitched him
Dallas,
that
y'all
one.
played Naaman Forest?
Yeah,
That's the football school. I know they got the
they're,
big
they're
football
not.
players.
They're not that good in baseball.
Yeah.
We were up 4-1. Should have beat them. Didn't. We played a little timid against Hallsville in that one loss we had against them. I thought we gave up like 4 in the first 2 innings, and then settled in and played pretty well. And then the 2 PG games have been like I'm just like, what are we doing? And hopefully we'll play better Friday against
Absolutely.
them. But we, I thought we had a mental edge over them coming into the season, and then
Yeah.
It looked like it's the other way after the first 2 games. So we ain't scared of nobody, but we got to play like it.
Yeah.
From here on.
Yeah, we gotta get it done. I like how your kids fight for one another. Sometimes in programs, I'm not saying at LE, but just nationwide, sometimes programs kids get upset with other kids' success, but your kids fight for one another. They all want to be better, whether it's number 9 hole, whether it's a reserve, whoever. All your kids want to be better. Where does that come from?
I don't really know. I don't know the answer to that, or I, tell everybody like this is how you do it. But no, they just want to win. I think, and I think the kind of the past, like when you're a part of something that's bigger than you, it helps. When LE baseball feels like it's going to keep rolling when you leave, like you want to put your mark on it so that people remember what you did. And I think part of that is why, and then the other part is just being a part of it. Everybody wants to win, so like do your part, and that's all we talk about. And in practice every day, we're going to have some kind of competition where you're going to win or lose. So they learn how to compete in that way too, against each other. And when they get out there together, they're pretty solid together.
Yeah, because your rapport with your players is it's immaculate. The way that you interact, you're able to joke with them and also be stern when it's time to be stern. And I think that's why you're successful, and that's why your program has been ascending since I've known you. Things like that.
Yeah, I agree. So T. Randall wanted me to ask this question. T. Randall is a co-host. You already know that, but he likes to ask questions in chat. He says, "Would you share some of those practice techniques with the softball side of things? Would you go over there and help them out?"
We actually, me and Surratt do share a lot of stuff. So he's aware of our techniques over here on our side.
And shout out to Coach Surratt.
Oh yeah, they're going to
play
a
game tomorrow night. Yeah,
big huge
play. Shoot down there after practice. It looks like it's gonna rain, so we might be in the indoors. So we'll try to shoot down there and watch them a little bit.
They're in Marshall, right?
Yeah, they're at ETBU.
Gotcha.
So.
And even with limited resources, you've found a way to be successful. I like the way you
my
don't.
resources aren't that limited though, because we've found a lot of support. Like through we do that golf tournament every year, and then when we do that online fundraiser, people give us a bunch of money, and it's been like, we don't get as much as a lot of people. Like there's some teams that make $25,000 off of fundraiser, but
off
like,
one
we have
day,
enough to where I can get. Baseball's moved to more technology stuff, so like we have all that now because of those fundraisers. We're not lacking for bats, with stuff like that. So like,
you have some really nice jersey combinations.
Yes, and that's shout out to Brewster hooking up with 3 and 2, and we'll add another jersey top next year somehow. So he'll keep us rolling on the uniform.
And you were forward thinking enough to do that. Like you're like a lot of coaches that are in your position get stagnant and like, I'm comfortable. I'm from here. Like I'm good. I'm winning. Nah, these kids like to wear 392, 3 and 2. Let's put them in 3 and 2. This is what they wear in the summertime. Put them in 3. They like that.
No, kids care about that a little more than I'd like them to. But
it's crazy, isn't it?
But they do care, so it's like let them do it.
What's your favorite combination?
I like the red on red. I did not think I'd like it.
I like that.
I'm old
school, the pinstripes.
Kind of, the red,
I like those.
Red with white pins. I thought I was gonna look like a softball player because we wear them too. And I was like, man, this ain't gonna look good. Yeah. And we get out there and it looks pretty good. So I'm a fan of them.
You even got Coach Jones out there styling and profiling.
Coach Jones is the one that he's gonna suit up no matter what. Like he's the one of the guys wearing jerseys again because I used to wear that black top or whatever. And, Coach Jones he's like, hey, I'm gonna jersey up. I was like, well, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna jersey up with you now. So me rushing and him and Dad ain't got one yet, but he'll get one on.
Yeah.
So team camaraderie. How important is it in baseball? You hear about it in other sports like football, and baseball is a little bit different, clearly, because it's individuals.
There's some individual aspects.
Right. So how important is team camaraderie in a sport like baseball?
It's I think it's of same importance as it would be in basketball or football. I know it's a little different, but the idea is still the same. Where you got to count on if you have any doubt in the guy behind you in the lineup. You start pressing, like it's going to affect your performance too. So you need to trust everybody that's in the lineup to be able to do their job. So if I ask WT to sacrifice, like, he's not going to hesitate because he knows the guy behind him can drive in the run. It's pipes, So that having that zero hesitation with the guy behind you or the guy in the field next to you is a big deal in baseball for sure.
I have a question. How
you've had a few?
Man, shut up. How do you keep our guys focused on keep the main thing, wherein there's so much on social media about quote unquote offers, right?
Yeah,
And it's not, I mean, and we have one of the top freshmen in the country in football, but he still has 3 years left of football to play.
yeah, he's got to get a lot better. You know
That
what I mean?
too,
Like,
and
he's
a
gotta
lot of
be ready to step on campus
Yes.
and win a job when he's a freshman in college.
Yes,
So,
and
like,
you're his position coach, but you also coach baseball, and around town, there's a lot of kids that get early offers, and they're not always our kids, but our kids are better. So how do you keep the main thing the main thing?
well, I tell them like every offer's on paper. Like
Yeah.
you still got to play. You know what I mean? There's not
Yeah.
like I've faced I think back when I got drafted, like you look up and you're facing like
You hear that flex, don't you, Tyler?
This dude was
You hear that flex,
you
right?
You get to professional baseball.
Yeah.
like,
No, when you got
everybody
drafted, I like to draft
and
it.
you're like, okay, this dude was a first round pick.
Yeah.
I got to face him, but like at the end of the day, you realize like he can't. I mean, he's struggling the same. He's playing the same game you are.
Yeah.
So like it's the same way in high school. It's like, okay, this kid may be going to Arkansas or Oklahoma or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's on paper, and when you get out there, like you got to just to get a shot to beat him is
dog on dog.
Yeah. It's a fight now.
Yeah.
It's 1-on-1, and I can win just like he can. So
Yeah.
like that's kind of what we teach our kids. And also like I think like if you play the game right and you're a winner,
It'll come.
It's
Yeah.
gonna show up at some point. And a lot of that stuff. I mean, y'all had Brewster on before. It's like I don't talk to many college coaches. They don't call me. Like the JUCOs in Arkansas call me. Like Henderson State. I got
shout out to Coach Hall.
Yeah, Coach Hall is a good dude.
Good dude.
But most of them are gonna go through the summer programs like Chase's deal and even Legion Ball and stuff like that. So like my part in the recruiting is just to develop the player.
You hear how transparent he being right now?
Absolutely.
Taking it. I like that because
no reason to lie about it.
No reason to lie about it, bro. That's what I'm saying. You need to clip this. This going
on the internet.
No, this going on Twitter, bro. He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because
but at the same time, I think I'm the most important coach for them.
Oh no, you are, because you're the high school
coach.
Yes,
absolutely.
The time you spend with them, their character.
He ain't bringing all them cats together to practice.
No,
he coaches them, and all that. But like
on the weekends,
teaching them the game on the weekend. But like, man, I train my guys daily.
Yes,
and that's through the fall, through the spring, and so the amount of
every
time
day for 4 years.
Yeah, the amount of time that I accumulate with these guys is like, that's what's going to be what shows up when they get there.
And they do, but college coaches do call you for that.
Yeah,
so
like Coach Hall and me have a really good relationship on that. Like he'll reach out and like, hey, you got anybody? Like, I got
I love
kids
Alan.
Right
He's a good dude.
Alan's a great guy. And he's after Cal and WT pretty hard.
I know he's on me about him. Why can't you get Zach? I'm like, dude, call Zach, man. I don't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, not my job.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, Tyler.
They're great players, so I don't.
But they are.
I understand exactly what he's going.
We're gonna give them this, and we'll give them da. I'm like, whoa.
They're gonna go somewhere.
I'm glad I got them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I appreciate your transparency right there, but that's the recruiting game in a nutshell.
We tell the parents that at the beginning of the spring, it's like, look, your kid's not gonna probably get a scholarship based off what they do here with us.
Yeah,
but they're gonna get better.
Yes,
and then that's gonna lead to all that other stuff you want later on. So
in the springtime,
the macro and the micro together, you're gonna be all right.
That's keeping the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to break. We got 2 more segments left here on the Power Hour. We'll be right back with some more of Coach Zach Fowler here on 107.9 The Fan.
rubber bands sticking out. No rubber bands speaking out. Tennis so heavy, can pick it up. Came with the gang, myriad. I see you whip hilarious. Where's my root mysterious? My whip from fast and furious. Cause we got on tears. We got to play serious. Came with the gang, myriad. Came with the gang, myriad. Came with the mob. Sit up.
What's left? Shoulder pass.
Sit up, get up, get up, get up. Came with a weak split up. I got John Wick, get up.
Big touch right three. 1-2, and that's hit hard into the left field. Back up to the track.
And Liberty Island High School, where Never Pride Never Dies. And so, once again, like we said earlier, we have a pro in the building, a professional. A lot of your high schools can't, in this city can't say that your baseball coach was pro. So, anyways, did you ever go to Camden Yards?
Yeah, I went and watched games there. I didn't get to play there, but
but I mean, they let you watch though.
No, it's a nice ballpark.
How
I go down, like all the Orioles affiliates are kind of like right there, like within an hour of Baltimore.
Yeah.
So like on off days, we go down there and like go to the harbor, hang out. And
what was that
eat
like?
good.
What did you go? AAA, AA?
I made it to AAA, but most of my time was spent like high A. I
You
spent like
made it to
2 years.
AAA?
Yeah, I was like a up and down deal. I was like up, down.
I mean, but you made it to AAA.
Yeah,
you were
one
pitching,
step,
right?
Yeah, I pitched.
What's the highest you ever pitched?
Hardest I ever threw?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got up to like 94. Like
Okay.
94 was my top velocity.
Let's put some stuff in perspective
I didn't
because I
sit
know a
at
lot of
94.
people are listening.
Yeah.
A lot of these high school kids say they throw, I'll throw 92. I throw none. No, you don't. Where are they getting these guns from? Is it like an iPhone app?
There's the gun's a real thing.
I
So,
know,
like,
no. I've seen the
gun
guns.
works. Like it's just like
But-
people take
Have you seen
I've
anyone the
noticed
past
this a
2
lot.
years run 92 besides Hagen Smith?
kids from Bullard. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, Hagen Smith. He's a hog. I love it. Hey, go Hogs.
Yeah, he was 88, 92.
Where is he now?
A hog.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's a Friday
he's
starter.
dealing for them too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't personally seen anybody that just sits 90, 92.
Yes.
That's the thing though is people take, and here's the deal about velocity. It
Yeah.
turns, it's like that fish you caught. It gets bigger and bigger every time you tell a story.
Oh no, we can't do
So,
that
like,
now.
People take that like top velocity number. So like let's say somebody comes
And
out
add
with
4.
86. Like, they'll hit 86 tomorrow night, right? Well, then that turns into 88.
Mhm.
And now this dude's like 86, 88.
Yeah.
And and that lie that gets expanded a little bit.
Yeah.
When they're really like they touched 86, but they sit 83. And most of the time, if I go get a kid on the gun, like this Salina kid last year, right?
Yeah.
We go watch him play the day before. It's during graduation. So he's pitching. So I get the gun out. I'm like, all right, what's this dude? And just what's he throw? Like,
Yeah.
what's his most?
You got a
touched
gun?
velocity? Yeah, we got 2 of them.
Okay.
We use them in practice all the time for
Okay.
different stuff. But
Yeah, we got
Like-
money too over there. Just let them folks know out there. Yeah, we got that too.
so like we gun him or whatever, and everybody's like, man, he's an 88, 90 guy. He's going to Baylor, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, like we get him on the gun. Like his top number was 89, but like the most he threw was he threw 85 the most. So when you're prepping for that guy, you don't need to prep for 89.
Perfect.
Like, you can prep for what you're gonna see. It's gonna be 85. So we were ready to hit 85. We didn't hit him great, but
Yeah.
I think we
You're
got
too
4
nice.
off of him.
I'm tired of all these. For my son, throw 90. No, he don't.
Yeah, I'll get him on the gun. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. Our stuff's legit. Like
Yeah.
if somebody asks me, like I have it charted, and we're gonna tell them what the kid
Yeah, the
throws.
real
Yeah,
is.
what does WT throw? I'm not gonna say it on air, but
Yeah.
tell them like
Yeah.
he's this to this, he's touched this.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not gonna get a lie from us.
Yeah, that's real.
So how do you go about deciding your pitching staff? I mean, I obviously who can pitch and what their
It's really
specialty
simple,
is.
Tyler. You're gonna think I'm lying to you, but like, who gets the most people out? Like, hey, if you're making them go back to the dugout, like
Then
that's
you
the
on the
deal.
mound.
Yeah. At the end of the day, and then you kind of look at stuff. You're like, okay, so this dude's getting outs, but he doesn't have quite the velocity this guy has, or quite the curveball this guy has. So you can kind of see like if they're even. You're gonna see which one has better stuff and who's more of a strike thrower, stuff like that.
I don't know if it was more of an analytical deal.
There is
than-
some analytics
gotcha.
to it, but like it's really simple when you start just getting them out there and watching them pitch. Like,
Gotcha.
This guy gets people out.
Do
Like,
you run by analytics? Do you go run?
Yeah, I
your
love
program?
analytics.
For
Now,
real?
I don't use them.
Yeah.
high school is hard because it's like there's not enough information about the other team really to put them into play. But as far as like stealing bases goes, like
Stats and all
we're
that.
analytical as can be.
I can tell because when I get the stat sheet from you sometimes, I'm like, whoa, this is well organized. Like,
it's just
no other sport gets me that.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, if we're like, I look at our season stats, and like just one thing I like to do is we like to steal bases. So it's like I'm always looking if I'm running enough. We're at 80% success rate. Like if we're above that, I'm probably not stealing enough bases. Like we're too, not aggressive enough. If I'm below that, I'm too aggressive.
Where does
I got this mark where I'm trying to stay at?
My bad, not to cut you off. My bad. Where does the small ball approach come from?
He's smart. You listen to the mind talk today,
and I don't want you to give your secrets.
No, it's
he knows baseball.
Obviously, I know that.
High school kids, you want to create as much chaos as you can in a baseball
controlled
game.
Chaos.
It's controlled for us,
right.
But for them, it's going to feel out of control.
Yeah,
and sometimes it gets out of control from us when we're on defense.
Yeah,
but as an offensive team, when you lay the perfect bunt down, it's heartbreaking for them, and we work it enough to where we feel like we're going to be very good at it. Yeah. So it's just one of those deals where we're just confident to call it, and we know certain situations it's more advantageous for us than others, but so we try to use it in the right spot, and then if we execute it well, it's probably going to be a hit, and we're probably going to just keep rolling.
I don't want to say this young man's name because his dad might get mad, but he's hitting the ball really well lately. Last year, he wasn't hitting the ball at all. So obviously, you've put a confidence in this young man where he knows to go get reps, played a little bit for sticks this past summer, and now he's going oppo down the line. He's doing a lot of good things. Like where does the intuitiveness for you come from? Like, let me start putting this into certain kids, because some kids may not have it, but when you put it in them, it's like you're putting a dog in somebody. Like everybody ain't got that dog in them, but like you're able to put it in certain kids, and then they flourish for you when you need them to.
Man, the best quote I've ever heard is this pitching coordinator for the Orioles, right?
What's his name?
Ricky Peterson. He was the A's pitching coach during Moneyball. So if you read Moneyball, watch the movie, like he was the pitching coach during that time. He always hit us with this at spring training. And by the second year, we knew the answer. But he'd say, which one comes first, success or confidence? Like half the dudes, like, who thinks success? So either half of us raise our hand. Who thinks confidence? Or, success or confidence, right? So half of us half the other guys raise their hand. He's like, all of you are wrong. It's preparation. So like kind of I use that on our guys every year. So like I think when you prepare enough and you feel like you're more prepared than the other guy, like it gives you confidence to be successful. So I think that's where that kid's confidence came from. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you know.
And I mean, he trained bat speed. He's trained all.
He looks different when he's batting. All
the parts of his swing that he needed to train, he put time into. So
he did.
Putting that time into it gave him the confidence to be like, look, I don't care who's on the mound.
Yeah,
I'm better than him. Now I still think he has some doubts at times.
Yeah,
but we try to squash him in practice. Like, you're better than this dude, man. You're hitting whatever. Like you're good. Like keep.
And his confidence has risen because you can tell. Like I've been around enough kids, like when they drag their shoulders or their heads down. It's not unfortunate, but like your kids don't hold their heads down.
Some of them do, but hopefully not very long.
Yeah,
the game keeps going, and you got to get ready for the next.
Absolutely. I mean, they hold their head when y'all lose, but like walking around campus, your kids are confident, and they know, hey man, we finna go to war here in a little bit. We're gonna get something done.
They're winners, winning mentality.
They do expect to win. That's something that when I first got here was not, and they didn't have that, and then to see them develop that confidence to like, hey, well, we're a program that when we go out, we expect to win no matter who it is.
Yeah,
PG Halls, it don't matter.
Yeah,
and we expect to win every game.
Absolutely. So I guess I would say if you weren't coaching, what would you be doing? If you didn't go to the professional major leagues, if you didn't play in the major leagues, what would you be doing?
I don't know, because it's about all I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? Like there's not just a whole lot of stuff.
I think you'd be a teacher. You're a good teacher.
Yeah, good educator for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't
kind of
see, but you get that from your dad, OG Rick.
I build relationships with kids really well. Like
hey, if I could do it,
even
you can
my
do it.
normal students, like I feel like I have a really good relationship with them.
You do,
but I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't coaching for sure.
How's the wife and baby?
Oh, good, man. They're hanging in there.
You not gonna shout your wife out?
Good job. No, she does a good job with the kids every day. She ain't back at work yet, so she's going back to work in like 2 weeks.
Well, I know what that feels like. Today's my anniversary. Shout out to my wife, Mimi. Happy anniversary. Happy 3-year.
Hold on, let me put the camera on you.
Yeah,
Wave back at her.
Mishlay, happy 3-year anniversary. I love you.
Happy anniversary.
Can't wait to go to dinner tonight. Yeah, but
you came to the radio on your anniversary.
Yeah, bro.
Take her to breakfast.
Hey, this is what pays for this hundreds of dollars a meal tonight. So she, I didn't know food could cost that much in Texarkana, but I didn't make reservations.
You'll get you a steak at Naaman's. That thing is expensive.
It's good.
The aged one,
it's worth it.
it costs a lot.
It costs a lot. I've had it one time. I'll probably never have it again.
Hey, Naaman's, they need to give Zach. I need to holler at Naaman's for she to put it on
Best
air.
ribeye I've had.
We need to get you a steak, one of those aged steaks or whatever.
Sponsor us,
Maybe we
Naaman's.
can do it after we win a state title. Then go to Naaman's.
Get them the sponsor.
Take LEISD, pick up the tab.
Dr. Brown, I will pick up the
Dr.
tab.
Brown.
Yes,
Take it out his
I
budget.
will. Yeah, we got money.
Take it out his budget.
I will pay for that
Right.
personally.
You don't need it.
But yeah, it's gonna get depleted here soon. You have a couple games left. You ready for the playoffs?
Man, we're fired. That's the best time of the year.
Mhm.
Like I remember the Last Dance documentary. Michael Jordan talks about the playoffs are the highest level of our game. Like that is the funnest time of the year. You want to make it last as long as possible. Each week could be the last one. And we expect to play for a long time, but we're going to play a good opponent next week, whether it be Van, Brownsboro, or Lindale, and it's going to be tough to beat them. So we better get ready. And know
Are you
that
gonna
we can
flip?
go home if we don't play well?
You gonna flip to play one game at home?
No,
or
we
what?
already kind of decided we probably will get a home game if we play Van or Lindale.
Okay.
So that's been it's not fully agreed upon yet, but home and home more than likely. And then with Brownsboro, we'll meet in Marshall and play. So we kind of got it all set. It's just who we play now.
I'm ready for it, man.
We're
School's
excited.
almost over. It means it's your time to shine.
Yeah, we would tell our kids we want to be playing when school's out. Like I want my seniors
I
to
need
play
you.
baseball as alumni for Liberty Island.
Yeah,
That's the goal every year. And if you get that far, like you're round 4, 3 and 4, so like that's a good season and like it's a good playoff run.
Absolutely. So I got a question.
Okay, go ahead. I'll ask after the break.
Let's say Ole Miss came with a bag. You leaving?
What do you mean? Like life changing money?
Of course.
To
I
be
can
a
answer that
coach?
for him.
For somebody to get me out of here, it's gonna have to be a life changing.
Yeah.
Like, it's because I am so happy where I'm at with the people I'm around
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like it ain't.
I'm reiterating that for you because you are LE. You live in LE. You can vote on things LE. You are an alumni. You are LE. You're LE through and through. You know what I'm saying?
It always will be like regardless. But,
Yes.
No, it'd have to be life changing to get me out of here.
So what would you say is your best memory as an athlete, or is there a certain play that sticks out to you back when you were at LE that you remember specifically, other than winning the state
I
championship?
remember the 06 double play that won the state title. So we were up 2-1 in the last inning. So I had come off the mound and I was playing first base, and they hit it. Like felt like the umpire zone just tightened up. So we get in the first and second 1-out situation, and the tying runs on second, winner runs on first.
Mhm.
And they hit a shot to the third baseman. Jared McPhee was our third baseman. And, he kind of just blocks it up, throws it to second. I'll never forget that ball coming out of AC Holland's hand, and he was a little bitty kid at the time. He was a sophomore.
Shout out AC.
And that ball just kind of floats out of there, and I never thought it was going to get to me. And then when it did, I just snatched it. And
Yeah.
just threw that sucker down, and we jumped on the dog pile and had a great time.
Man.
That play stands out still.
Wow.
And then
Man.
Emmanuel Fagan making that tackle in the state championship football game stands out too.
You remember all that?
I
remember the tackle.
You were there.
when
Yeah.
Emmanuel ran around and tackled that guy like at the 7.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just remember thinking we did it. Like
I'll never
rings
forget.
down.
I was like in the 8th grade, and we were like, "Oh, they might fake it. They might fake it." And they
the guy
did.
lined up on the wrong side. Tom Middlebrooks caught it.
So
Started yelling fake.
what? How do
We only got 30 seconds before we go to break. So
I
you
ask my
might-
question?
Yeah.
I need to think of a better way to ask it because I really want to ask a question.
I already know what your question is pertaining to probably after this conversation. Just
Uh-huh.
knowing Earl Wayne Gill.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
with
you.
it. Don't be talking about government folks be Googling me, man. Stop that, bruh. Stop that. You sounding like your homegirl. She a op. OG, you hear him? You hear him, OG?
I'm just saying, man. I ain't mean to put your government out there, but hey,
Yeah,
people
no,
know who you are anyway.
I know, but
Yeah,
I
look,
want to
look it
ask
up.
a question that his dad has said to me and you
Mm-hmm.
in private, and I was thinking of a articulate way to ask it on air because you know the feds watching.
Well, just wait. You hear that music and
Exactly. Give me 30 seconds to think about it.
We'll be right back. You listen to the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan.
trust no skeezers on the beat, so I know it's slapping. This ain't no ESPN.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Huff and Gill, and we're so elated to have Zach Fowler here, man. He didn't drop jewels, he didn't gave game. He is Liberty ILO through and through, and I'm just happy to have him here. And I personally invite everyone to senior night tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
And also we have a crosstown game with the people from up north on Friday.
Paris tonight.
Yes, Paris tonight, and the other people on Friday. And we would love for H.E. Markham Park to man, I'm talking about bust through the seams with tickets. Because you put on a good show. You put on a real good show, and you make all of us proud to wear our white leopard hats and stick our chest out and talk a little bit of smack after the game. Shouts out to Mr. Bearden. I'm sorry about last year. Me and him had a few words after the game. Oh, you were there. You saw it. He's my guy. We're good now. All apologies. We're good. Y'all win like trash. Y'all are you just lost. Get up out of here, sir. But man, Zach, anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, this has been a great group of coaches this year, like just all the way through. We're starting 4 sophomores and freshmen right now. 2 juniors and those 3 seniors, they're going to start tonight. Dylan Garton, Aiden Easter, Cal Jones, and then the other 2, J.D. Davis, who's running a lot of bases for us, and Richie Plant, who pitched on Tuesday, or he pitched on Friday, so he's not available today. But those 5 guys, man, we're excited.